Halloween, 1993, Salem, Massachusetts. Max Denizen lights the black flame candle, resurrecting 3 witches intent on securing immortality. For this episode of Where It Was Made, we go back to Salem, Massachusetts, and revisit the filming locations from the night that the Sanderson sisters ran amok. Hi, how are you?
What manner of magic be this?
It's for a web series?
Web? Does that commune with spiders?
Take a walk around Salem in October, and you can truly see that this is a town that lives for Halloween. Everywhere you look, you see witch logos and merchandise. This legacy, of course, is built from the Salem witch trials, but was revitalized by the cult following that Hocus Pocus developed over the years.
Halt! Who are you?
So this is the cemetery where, in the beginning of the film, Max rides his bike down the hill behind me and is forced to hand his shoes over to Jay and Ernie, or should I say Ice.
This is Ice.
The old burial hill is not actually in Salem, but in the neighboring town of Marblehead, Massachusetts. It is one of the oldest cemeteries in the United States. This graveyard actually contains the remains of one of the 19 victims of the Salem witch trials, Wilmot Red, who was executed by hanging in 1692. The old burial hill is also referenced briefly in the short story The Festival, written by H.P. Lovecraft.
You got any cash?
This is not, however, the cemetery where we find Billy Butcherson buried. That's actually a set built at Disney's studio in Burbank, California.
Next, let's take a trip back in time, over 300 years, to 1693, and visit the village of Thackeray Binks, where he initially encounters the witches, loses Emily, and is turned into a cat.
Thackeray's Village was filmed at the Salem Pioneer Village, a recreation of a 1630s settlement built in Salem's Forest River Park.
Nice to see my sister Emily. Hey, but look, they conjure. Oh God.
The village now serves as a living history museum, demonstrating the various examples of colonial architecture. It was originally built in 1930 for a play about John Winthrop, a founder of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Interestingly enough, Winthrop is credited as having written America's first ghost story. The village does not actually exit to a field like in the movie, but to the ocean.
Emily!
Poor Thackeray Binks. Neither his father, his mother, nor anyone else ever knew what became of him those 300 years ago.
Next, let's go to Max's high school, where he first hears the story of the Sanderson sisters, and where later in the film he lures them in with the book and traps them in the kiln.
What is this place? It reeks of children. It is a prison for children.
Jacob Bailey High School was actually the Phillips Elementary School. The school had closed about a year prior to filming the movie and sat vacant until Disney came along. It now serves as an apartment building.
Hello. I want my book. Bonjour. Je veux mon livre.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass you in class.
Trick or treat?
The school sits right on the popular Salem Common, which is where we see Allison give Max's phone number right back to him. Appropriately, the movie screens here every Halloween during the town's Haunted Happenings Festival.
Next, let's take a trip over to Max's house, where he moves with his family from California, and where later in the film he tries to hide the book. My book. Sorry.
Max's house sits at 4 Ocean Avenue on the Salem waterfront. The house is only about a block away from the Forest River Park, where Thackeray's village sits. The distinct home has become very popular since the filming of the movie, and it still looks exactly like how we found it in 1993. The home was built originally in the 1870s and sits right on the sea.
We come back to the house later in the film where Sarah goes and sings a song that puts the children in Salem under a spell. Do you want this? Yeah.
Use thy voice, Sarah! Fill the sky! Bring the little brats to die!
And appropriately enough, as we were filming at Max's house, the harvest moon rose over the Salem harbor.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of magic.
Wow. Check out this house.
Next, let's go over to the house of Allison, where Max and Danny go trick-or-treating and where they're afraid they'll be made to bob for apples and drink cider at the rich people party.
Allison's house is actually the Ropes Mansion, a historical home built originally in 1727 for Samuel Bernard, a successful merchant. The house is listed on the National Registrar of Historic Places and is recognized as one of New England's most significant and thoroughly documented historic houses. It sits only a few doors down from the home of Judge Jonathan Corwin, one of the witch trial judges. This building is now a museum operated by the Peabody Essex Museum and is open to the public. It's rumored by the locals to be extremely haunted.
Trick or treat!
Trick or treat!
Oh, Allison!
So next, let's go to Salem Town Hall, where... Actually, you guys should probably take this one.
Thank you, Ryan, for that marvelous introduction. This is the spot where my sisters and I did a wonderful rendition of I Put a Spell on You, where all the adults in the town were cursed to dance until they die.
I put a spell on you, and now you're gone. My whammy fell on you, and it was strong.
Old Town Hall is located in Salem's historical district and is the oldest surviving municipal structure in the entire city. The inside of the town hall is now home to the Salem Museum and a function hall where each year the town hosts a recreation of the Puritan witch trial of Bridget Bishop. The Halloween party itself was filmed on a soundstage in California, but we see many of our characters enter and exit the building's exterior.
Ask my sister! She's vicious! I put a spell on you! A wicked spell! I put a spell on you! Sister! I say into pie, up or maybe up and die!
I say into pie, up or maybe up and die.
In Kamakoreyama! Hey, I say bye!
So that'll do it for this episode of Where It Was Made. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you at the movies.
You should stay for dinner.
Oh, I'm good. I'm not hungry.
But we are.
We need to take a cat.
Hang on, I can let me play with it.